Okay, it's rap pack to my pulse flat. We keep it real, no false rap. I got 4 cars and they all black. Got 4 bras and they all that. We call that ballin'. Doing this is my calling. Flow is so appalling. My phone off and she calling. I'm like, yeah.
What's up, internet, and welcome back to South Africa's greatest movie, series, and comic book related show, Nth Level Entertainment. I'm your host, Zweletu Mashang.
And I'm Dave.
And today we're going to be covering Game of Thrones Season 7. What an awesome season we had this season.
It was certainly a change of pace for the show. It's no season 2.
There was definitely a finality to things, the way they unfolded.
Yeah, you really feel like they're accelerating towards the end game.
Yes, definitely. Because we are sort of like on a rush towards the culmination of all these seasons and where these characters have gone. And we actually get a real sense of that during the seasons as well. During the episodes in the season as well. So we're going to be doing a rundown on all the episodes. Just a brief description and our thoughts on each episode and as we get to the finale. So episode 1, Dragonstone. So Arya's basically Batman now, right?
Yeah, she's had a ninja training.
Yes. She went off to Nenda Parbat with the faceless man.
Defeated a thin child.
No, that was pretty cool. I mean, it was pretty interesting to see her development from who she was in the beginning. I mean, she always wanted to be some sort of a warrior.
Yeah, well, from episode 1, we kind of knew she was going to be a badass.
Yes.
She could outshoot her brothers in archery.
True.
Right from the jump.
True. And Nestor realized this and got her a dance teacher, the guy who was teaching her the fencing.
Yeah, the sword master from Bravos.
Yes. That was pretty cool. And it's also quite interesting to see how Sam has grown as well. He's sort of like Game of Thrones' version of Oracle.
He is. He's also an exposition machine.
He is.
I'm going to montage to getting all of the things that my friends should know and eventually get around to telling them. Eventually.
Well, look, with him as well, it's a natural progression as well. He's also one of those characters that were very interested in things like knowledge. He wanted to be a maester from the time he was younger. He was very much into his studies. So it kind of makes sense. He's like the man in the chair for the Game of Thrones universe. Mm. Although, unfortunately, because their technology is so behind, you can't exactly have earpieces and everything to Jon Snow.
He's got ravens. And we know Brandon can talk to people remotely. I mean, he spoke to Hodor through time to have to hold the door, man.
No, but that wasn't him speaking to Hodor. That was him warging Hodor, and then through him being warged, he could hear what was happening around the future Hodor's body.
So Bran's powers are vague at best.
Yes.
So does he have to be in range? Wait. In the episode where
in range, he does it across time and space.
Yeah, he whispers something and Ned Stark hears it when they're going up the tower.
Oh yes, when he was behind him.
So wait, he can't do that to his brother and be like, "Don't fuck your heart." that he can't do.
So we also see Jon Snow playing the role of Ben Affleck's Batman as he goes around and actually gets different characters involved in this thing. Like when he went to, I don't know if I'm now discussing a later episode, but it seems as though he is sort of like amassing his forces towards this treaty that they're now planning to establish with Cersei.
He's getting the band together.
Yes, yes, basically. And then we also see Daenerys finally arriving at Dragonstone.
Yeah, it's really satisfying.
It is.
Getting her back to Dragonstone.
I mean, it's the most fitting headquarters she's had so far because she has been moving from city to city, conquering them, freeing slaves and so forth. It's nice for her in this season to finally get a base that's actually called Dragonstone. Her being the mother of dragons and all that stuff.
Can we point something out? So, Sam goes to Maester School,
right.
Reads up on these books, and we see this in a later episode. Oh, there's dragon glass under Dragonstone, the place that's named after dragons, where dragons lived. And dragons make this thing. I could have guessed that, Sam. Come on.
But this was a good episode, though. It was a nice intro to the season, and also like a nice setting of tone and pace as to what to expect from the season going forward.
kicked it off, fooled me into thinking it was a flashback.
How so?
I mean, now with the phrase, what? Wait, didn't I see this dinner in the last? Oh
This
no,
is not the
okay.
red wedding.
Yeah, that's,
But no, that was Arya balancing things out,
mm.
getting her revenge on the phrase. So we're moving on to episode 2 now, Stormborn. So I feel like Grey Worm should pass some notes on to Theon.
Yeah, how to live without a dick.
Yes.
He'll write a
He's doing fine.
a Westerosi bestseller, so it looks like you've lost your dick. Where'd it go? Do you still have it? Are you going to keep it in a jar? Maybe dick recipes? You can't tell me Ramsay Bolton didn't hint that he wanted to eat his dick.
So many times. I mean, in that season, after his dick got cut off, there were so many shots of people eating sausage. Even characters that were not even in the same location. Like Tyrion, I think, had a shot where he was eating a sausage.
If you like your meat.
Soon after that. But it is quite a polarization, though, in terms of seeing how, one guy deals with, that circumstance versus another. I mean, Theon has lost his will to fight. He's essentially broken as a man due to this thing.
He did have the best arc. He starts out as the Stark hostage, returns to being a Greyjoy, fights against the Starks, gets his dick chopped off, becomes a manslave for Ramsay Bolton, goes through an emotional breakdown and final payoff.
All men
Last
and
end.
So it's nice to see the Stark kids finally getting closer and closer to this well-deserved reunion that they finally have. We finally see Arya finally arriving at Winterfell. Unfortunately, Jon has already left on his quest. But we see the reunion between her and Sansa at the very least. That was nice to see.
This is the first time they've been together since season 1.
I think so.
And-
Because Arya disappeared during the execution of Ned
Yes.
Stark.
And Bran was in a coma
Yes, he had
by the
just been
time Sansa
pushed out of a window. Yeah.
So that was pretty satisfying. We've got a serial killer, a political rape victim, and a magical three-eyed bird dude. I mean, Sansa's the most normal one of them.
Well, aside from the fact that she wears dead people's faces to
That's Iron
infiltrate
with
the-
dead people's faces.
Oh, sorry, I'm mixing it up. Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
Sansa's
Sansa's
like,
had,
well, I'm just doing politics. I'm a politician.
she's had her
Oh,
issues.
I wear people's faces and I can see through time. Her other siblings.
Oh, and the other one doesn't die.
Yeah. Oh, death. Yeah, I
Yes.
tried it. It's not for me.
Didn't take.
Not a fan.
Didn't take. Well, look, Sansa's had her trials as well. I mean, she was married to Ramsay Bolton for like a week,
And let's not forget.
during that, wow,
Mm.
that was enough of like years of trauma for any other normal person. So this,
Yeah, and how creepy is it, Bran being, oh, I saw you on your wedding day. You were beautiful in your white dress. Oh, thanks, little bro. You watched me get raped. That's cool.
basically,
Don't really need to relive that.
you see,
Thanks.
that's the part of his character that helps that he's so unemotional. He kind of gets away with it. No one will actually get mad at him for knowing that and not doing anything about it.
He's the weird, creepy kid in school. It's like, ew.
He's the Google of Westeros, basically.
And he Googles rape through time. So wait, what's he seen in the past? He's traumatized Hodor.
Yes.
Oh
my God.
He's seen Jon Snow get born. That's great. Oh yeah, let's see something come out of a vagina. And then he watches his sister get raped. Oh, let's see something go into a vagina. This kid needs Pornhub.
That's his role.
That's his deal. He's just, oh yeah, let's watch them both.
But that's his role, though. Like, by destiny, you could even say. That's just...
No, for Bran, this is Game of Thrones.
So he's sort of like a viewer like us within the show.
A voyeur. A voyeur with time shifting.
So we're going to move on to the Queen's Justice. Okay, so in this episode, we see Jon finally meeting Daenerys and actually asking for her help in this great war. What do you think of those two characters finally meeting?
You knew they were going to fuck right from the jump. I liked that.
She did take a shining to Jon.
I liked that there was he kind of worked for it.
Yeah.
He needed to win her over, and
through his genuine like country boy values, he did that. Him and his honor as a country boy. He is quite. I mean, we see this in. No, let me not skip forward to the finale. But like he's one of those, like the typical superhero archetype. Clark Kent, boy who grew up on a farm, kind of all American values. He is that person in Game of Thrones. He's the one who's all about, I will not betray, I will not do this.
And we do get Tyrion and Jon together again.
Yes.
Which is not since season 1.
Were they together before this?
Well, Tyrion follows him up to the wall in the first season.
I see.
So they have had dealings with each other.
Okay.
Yeah, it's nice seeing them play with each other, but I think I just like Tyrion Lannister as a character.
He's my favorite character.
Peter Dinklage kills it.
I mean, like, and it's so strange to think that, a character like that, out of everyone else that would be there, would turn out to be the most awesome. I mean, I've got nothing against midgets, but he's an unlikely favorite, if I can put it that way.
Okay. He drinks and he knows things.
Yes. And intellectually, I would call him my Game of Thrones Bruce Wayne. Like he's always got a plan. He's very logical.
Already declared Arya's Bruce Wayne.
Oh yes. So he'd be Tony Stark? No, not quite. Because he is a womanizer and he drinks a lot.
He's more of an Alfred, I think, like a badass Alfred.
With a lot of it.
It's like other people do things, but he's the one who supports them. He's the guy with the ideas.
I guess. No, he's hands down my favorite character. I mean, I like the way he's able to put things into perspective. I like how he's able to worm out of situations using his mind and his wits. It's fantastic.
Like he said to Jon Snow in season 1, like a blade needs a whetstone, so does a mind need books.
Oh, now I remember that interaction between him and
Yeah, there you go.
It was just before he left for Castle Black, right?
It was when they left for Castle Black. Yes. It was on the journey there. Yeah.
Oh, yes, I do remember that interaction. Wow. So we also see Bran finally arriving back in Winterfell and revealing that he's now the three-eyed raven, and we have Sansa and Arya's reaction to that. My favorite scene there was when he basically, because Arya had told Sansa earlier on that she's got a list of people that she needs to kill, and she kind of passed it off like it's a joke because Sansa didn't believe it. And then they later meet Bran, who says, "Oh yes, I've seen you on your travels. You have many people on your list." And then Sansa's like,
"Yeah,
wow. So this list is real. How many people?"
Yeah, she kills people.
Dude. And she's like, most of them are dead already. That was an awesome moment.
Wait, was this the episode where we get Bran and Littlefinger talking?
When he gives him the dagger, and then he passes it off to.
And he repeats the line that Littlefinger dropped: "Chaos is a ladder." I'm like,
oh yes, and Littlefinger was like, "What the hell?"
Oh yes, I know. I don't think Littlefinger at this point knows that Bran has seen it.
Which makes the payoff work at the end of the season. I see. That was also a good episode. Look, the writers did very well in terms of how they brought things back together and how organic and natural it actually seemed. Especially with the reuniting of the Stark Kids and the way in which they did so, like the exchange they had about Arya's list.
Oh, is this the episode with the Unsullied attack Casterly Rock?
I think it's just when the battle is about to begin.
Yeah, and then we've got the Tyrell. What's her name?
Oh yes, the lady who finally confesses to actually
Yes.
killing Joffrey.
Yeah, that was.
That
It's
was
like
pretty
just.
cool as well.
I mean, I'm gonna die, but I'm gonna just
Yeah.
twist the knife just a bit. Yeah, your brother that you accused, he didn't do it. It was me.
That was brilliant, and how she was so accepting of it. She took the poison and then spilled the beans.
Yeah,
That was
and
pretty
well, there's no doubt she's telling the truth at that point.
Yeah.
I'm gonna die anyway.
Exactly.
Hey, look, I killed him.
And I'm so glad that Tyrion has finally been exonerated. I mean, yes, us the viewers knew that he's innocent, but it's nice that a character finally got to witness someone confessing that he's innocent. That was pretty cool as well. Just another one of those ways where things are actually being wrapped up and taken out of the way in favor of the final plot point that's like actually coming along. Okay, now we're gonna move on to episode 4, which was my favorite episode of the season, the spoils of war. All right, I mean, here we get to see the Ansali in action, we get to see the Second Sons in action, we get to see the Dothraki in action, and dragons in action.
Yeah, so, what's his name? Maester something or other, who's advising Cersei.
Yeah, the old guy.
Yeah, creates a ballista, fires giant spears.
That was his creation?
Yeah, he built that. We see him build it, and he takes Cersei down into the basement and fires it at the dragon skull.
Oh, yeah.
Right, yeah. Why not build 7 of those? You got the one thing, right? So I got the one weapon, there'd be 3 dragons. The math doesn't work out. Make 6,000 of them. It's made of wood and string. How hard is it to make that? Come on.
The guy's pretty old. That contraption was pretty big. I mean, he probably needed some time to make the other two.
Clearly didn't build that himself. He's hiring contractors. He's got some of his creepy children that he uses as spies.
Oh yes, the whisperers, the little birds, as Varys calls them.
Creepy kids.
So at this point, we also kind of see Daenerys coming fully into her own as the type of queen who has the armies that she has and being the mother of dragons and everything. At this point, did you see signs of her sort of becoming a tyrant, a bit like the Mad King did? Because she's got all the power.
Yeah, so this doesn't make sense to me, right? So she kills the Tarleys, but she says she's the breaker of chains, and her choice is serve me or die. That's
Well, in her mind, she gives them the choice.
That's no.
But that is
not
next
the breaker
episode.
of chains.
Okay, on that note, we're just going to move right into the next episode, which is Eastwatch. Okay. Now, at this point, we see the aftermath of the big battle. We see the dragon injured and on the floor, or at least recovering from his injury. And we see the aftermath of like the remaining few of the armies that they were fighting. So this is where, yes, they were given a choice. She did say, serve in my army, bend the knee, which is a done thing. It's when someone asks for someone to bend the knee, it's not being a tyrant. It really was a choice.
It's servitude or death. What if I just want to stay neutral? Can I just go home? Maybe I like eating cheese sandwiches. I don't know. You haven't given me an option. You are imposing your will. That was a bad move. And Tyrion says, don't do that, that's a bad move.
Yes.
Do we think that's going to pay off?
Because Tyrion does say, we've had enough bloodshed.
Because we know from later episodes Sam's coming back.
Hmm.
But with this, her killing his family, is that going to pay off into him eventually betraying her?
It could go that route.
He also didn't like his father. So maybe he's glad he's dead? But
Yes,
it's his dad.
Yeah, because his dad basically called him a loser and insulted his wife, or if I can put it that way. So yeah, his dad's not one of his favorite people at this point. But I don't think, he would have wanted him to die at the hands of dragon breath.
I don't know. People have very strong opinions. about family in Game of Thrones.
Look, he did take the family sword, so I guess that was like one of the biggest FUs.
And it is kind of a leap to, oh, Dad, I'm going to jack your metal stick, to, I hope you burn in a fire and die.
So it was also nice seeing Arya have the more detective aspects, once again, of being Winterfell's Batman. The way she was tailing Littlefinger around as he was having his conversations until he finally hides that original note in his room. That was pretty nice to see.
So it's telegraphed that Littlefinger knows she's watching and is
Later
manipulating
on, we see that he was playing her the whole time, which
What?
is such...
Yeah, but why doesn't the woman who can wear anyone's face just wear someone else's face?
While doing all this, that's a
No.
very good question.
Did the
She's got a whole bag of them. Why didn't she use them?
cult of the many-faced god not teach her espionage? Hey, we steal faces. Maybe,
To
wear
their,
faces.
to their defense,
It's our whole jam.
to their
That's the
defense,
thing we do is wear your face.
they're assassins, not detectives. So it's very much how it's the same as how Bruce Wayne broke away from the League of Assassins to become Batman. He's different from what they are because he's got the elements of being a detective, and he doesn't kill. He uses their skills only insofar as to preserve justice.
Yes, and when Batman's investigating things, he wears a mask to conceal his identity.
AKA matches Malone. I get it.
He's wearing a face. You've got a whole bag of them.
There was a bit of a plot hole, guys. Speaking now to the writers of Game of Thrones. But if you guys out there watching disagree, let us know what you think of that little plot hole in the comments below. So now we're going to move on to episode 6, Beyond the Wall. Or as I like to call it, The Fellowship of the Whites.
Oh, that's a good name. Yes, it was very much, let's trek through the snow.
Because this was when the Game of Thrones Avengers or Justice League, whatever you want to call them, were finally now on mission going to go and capture a white. As evidence for Cersei.
Why aren't there more ice bears? Surely there are a ton of bears around. Just make a whole bunch of ice bears. Or was the effects budget entirely spent?
Weren't
on
most of them
dragons?
already eaten up by dragons by that time, maybe? Maybe they became an endangered species. I mean, we saw how they would just simply roast a goat and take it away. Like it was a drive-through.
Yeah.
So,
I want to see more zombie animals. That's cool. But as soon as
one of the direwolves got turned, right?
I don't know.
But
I
we don't
remember.
see them much. I do remember seeing a White Walker direwolf. I'm not sure which season or which episode it was. I'm not even sure which of the direwolves it was, because I think Summer's dead, right? Wait, it could have been Summer. Summer's the one that belonged to Bran.
Yeah, and
And when they were
Lady is
escaping,
dead. Lady's dead.
Lady's the one that belonged to Arya,
Sansa.
Sansa.
Now Arya's is Nymeria. We see her earlier in the season,
Ah,
and you're, I'm just doing my wolf thing with my wolf baby.
okay.
That's cool. I got my own deal now.
But I'm pretty sure that the one that died at the episode where we see Hodor's origin is the one that eventually got turned into a White Walker wolf, as far as I could tell.
As an aside, you totally bang the children of the forest, right? The little nymph chick.
They are pretty hot.
And
And they're quite scantily dressed as well.
Well, and they're all made of wood. If you got wood.
So if you got wood.
Let's get some wood to join the seams.
Splinters though, would that not be...
Baby, I'm a carpenter. I'll ask to cut that up.
I wouldn't want to learn the hard way about the splinters, if you know what I mean. The hard way.
That is a hard
I
one.
went there. I went there. But with that as well, it was also nice to finally see the dragons in action against the White Walkers. When they finally get stuck in that stalemate where they're surrounded by them on that glacier,
Yeah.
and Daenerys finally rides in and saves them.
So the Night King's a dumbass, right?
Why?
Oh, look at the dude that pointed at me and called me out and is trying to kidnap my zombie. Oh, I've got a spear. Let's fire it at that dragon instead of the one everyone's sitting on. You want to kill those people? Kill those people. It's not even moving. What, did he want a challenge? Throw it at that one.
It's made for
just
more
sapping.
drama.
It's not doing anything.
He was showing off to his subordinates. He was letting them know why he's the Night King. You know, he's not gonna go for the low-hanging fruit. You know,
Why not? Just go for that one.
If-
The others are all confused in that. Oh yeah, I'll bring him back. I'll write him right now.
if you want to set an Olympic record for javelin throwing,
And
you
because-
don't go for the low-hanging fruit.
Yeah, but also that would have fixed the pothole of where'd we get all these chains? Why not just kill the one that's already on an island? We can just
We just go
Just-
over there.
what? Be lazy. Hit the.
Where did they find those chains at the end?
So I think the Night King and the Children of the Forest have a kinky sex dungeon. That's the only explanation for why they have
And the
chains.
battle happened to take place close to where one of those dungeons were. I see. The Night King is actually quite smart then, if you think about it. He staged that battle at one of his seedy motels, apparently. So yeah, this is quite interesting because we finally even get to see the possibility of whether a dragon can be turned into a White Walker dragon or not.
Oh, you had to know that immediately. I
Well,
mean,
from the fact that he went and killed it?
well, I mean, John has seen a White Walker wolf already.
Yes.
It's like, this guy can resurrect animals. Well, did we just leave the corpse of a flying, fire-breathing lizard in the bottom of the lake?
Yes, we did.
Maybe he can go get that. I don't think he needs to breathe. He could have gone down there himself. Oh, no, he wants him to drag him out, just dry him off. Okay, let's just pat him down.
They probably assumed he wouldn't have been able to get in there, seeing as how they were protected by the fact that the White Walkers didn't want to get into the water. So
Why? What's the problem? They're zombies, right? Do they need to
also
breathe?
don't understand
Because I mean, you just go and you can.
because they live in
Why,
those
why can't they swim? How hard is it to swim? It's not.
and they live in those kind of surroundings. You know, like they're perpetually in snow and ice. It's like
So maybe they can't learn new things. So he only kills people that don't already know how to swim.
so they're stuck in their ways. Is that what you're saying?
You can't teach an old white new tricks.
Oh my god. Okay, so now we're moving on to episode 7, the finale, the dragon and the wolf. Now, this was a melting pot of not conspiracy, that's not the word, controversy. Firstly, okay, the points that I loved about this was the meeting, right, where the two queens and everybody else came through. I love Daenerys' entrance. She did exactly what I was hoping she would do. She was late, everybody was there, and she got there on a freaking dragon. Thoughts?
So Cersei's like, meh.
We've been here for quite some time. My apologies. That was awesome because she had to keep her composure. It's Cersei.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, everybody else was on something. Wow, it's a dragon, and Cersei was like, "This bitch is late," and she showed me out.
Euron is so good though.
He's a dick though.
Well, he has a dick. Unlike, his nephew. A lot of dickless people. Oh, and this episode gives us the line, it's all cocks in the end.
8,001 to be exact. Dickless people in Game of Thrones.
Oh, wait. Why do you hate dick so much? Yeah.
So we also finally see the long-awaited exposition piece about Jon's true heritage, or parentage in this case.
Bit late.
A bit late. Well,
Thanks, Fran.
not quite. Because from how it was edited, it looked like he was actually dropping the exposition as they started humping,
Yes.
which made
I'm
it
like-
so creepy. Why would they choose for it to happen that
At
way?
any point does he not realize, whoa, wait, hang on. Is he
I mean,
is
the
he
dude-
banging right now? I don't know. I would have guessed it.
Oh, you mean Bran?
Yeah, Brad, look, little wheelchair dude. He's banging his arm. Got a great ass though. Man's
you
got
want-
a.
Don't you want to send him a raven like now?
Why didn't? There's a lot of what? Come on!
That was the worst way that they could have explained that. You know, like during the actual love scene, my God.
A smash cut of smashing.
Dude. And we have Tyrion lurking in the hallway, while this is happening. Like he wasn't happy.
Smash that. No.
But seriously, what do you think that is though? Like, is that some sort of foreshadowing that, oh, this is not good?
Do you think he knows? Does he know?
He must know.
What
He must have
He
heard
knows things.
He knows
We know
things.
that.
But he must have heard them, why else did he look so constipated? He obviously didn't like something about what was happening,
Oh.
So,
Daenerys is definitely pregnant, right?
now that she's being begged by a Targaryen, probably.
The Targaryens have a history of inbreeding. It makes sense. They banged. She got a bun in the oven.
Look, when Jon pet the dragon,
One
she
baked because she's
didn't
fireproof.
get an inkling of the fact that he's a Targaryen as well.
The dragons knew. And then when Jon pets the dragon's like, yeah, you're gonna burn, aren't you?
You're gonna fuck my mom. I see you. I see you.
Yeah, there's definitely an inbred Targaryen on the way.
Oh. No, but this was a good episode all along. What were your high points if you were to?
Motherfucking ice dragon! What?
Oh yes.
What?
Now that is also
Down with the wall.
But that also brings an interesting conversation, though. Okay, was that ice breath or was that frozen fire, frost fire? What was that?
Well, when fire gets so hot it's blue?
Right, a white
Yeah.
flame type thing, or a blue flame.
Yeah, so maybe he's so hot, man. Man, this dragon is just so hot.
Okay, well that's a better explanation because I was thinking if
Yeah, because it seems like fire, just
Yeah.
really hot fire.
Yeah.
Oh, now it's blue.
because if that breath had anything ice related in its composition, I would have
Wouldn't
said
it just be
the
adding,
wall should have gotten bigger.
like just adding layers
Not
to
falling
structural
down.
integrity.
Exactly.
Maybe he like builds like an ice ramp so they can like.
Maybe the
walk
Night
out
King is an
and-
architect. And all he wanted to do all along was just help out.
Wasting my time yet. Oh, and we also get Peter Baelish's trial and execution.
Oh!
Which it was fun. It was
And he
satisfying.
went out like a bitch, yo. Did
Came
you
out of nowhere though. When did Arya and Sansa do the? When did you hatch this conspiracy? You've been fighting this whole time.
Look, I think the tiebreaker there, or at least the peacekeeper, was Bran. I think off screen, someone went and spoke to Bran.
So is that not bad storytelling?
Well, it's better
Rule
editing.
number one of filmmaking is show, don't tell.
Yes.
So why didn't you show me?
So, according to something I read online, I think the actress, who plays Sansa, explained to an interviewer that there was a deleted scene where one of them actually goes to Bran to get confirmation and want to get the truth, and he spills it out, and then that's when they realize, oh, we're being played by Littlefinger.
A show that's so good with superfluous exposition didn't give us critical exposition. I think. Well, this is part of the.
That's the one
also
moment where they dropped the ball.
one of the problems with this season is that previous seasons were a marathon. We've got a whole drawn out journey that we're going on in early seasons.
Yes.
And this new season is a sprint.
True.
It's a sprint to the finish.
They were trying to get to the end. That's the main
And
problem.
with that, some things that are important kind of fall by the wayside.
That's true. Well, I guess we'll be waiting for a year and a few months for the next season. Up until then, we'll be getting back onto our regular schedule. The CW shows are coming back pretty soon.
Yes. And next year we're getting Westworld.
Oh, yes. Are they still going to stay in the Western town or are they going to go to Samurai World? Because I saw, or whatever it was, because I saw a hint of that in the season finale of the last Westworld.
Yeah, I don't know and I don't want to know. Surprise me, it's a good show.
Guys, thank you once again for joining us on our comeback. Sorry we've been away for so long, but we are going to be coming back with new content. We're just doing a lot of restructuring of our show production-wise, and we've had some equipment challenges as well. So, and again, I have been Zweletu Mahlangu. You can find me on Facebook at nth-level entertainment, Zweletu Mahlangu as my main Facebook account, and you can find nth-level entertainment on Twitter as well as at nth-level entertainment.
Thanks for watching.
I'ma turn these zeros into tens and commas. Bitch, I'm ballin', ballin'. Closing $1 million deals. Catch me swerving, burning $100 bills. How I feel when you ballin', ballin'. Going places they never